Hello everyone, welcome back to the Keep Productive YouTube channel. It is Francesco here. Now in today's video, we're diving into the 5 key takeaways of GTD. I wanted to run through some of the takeaways from David Allen's book, Getting Things Done, give you some advice in terms of how you can go and apply them in your everyday routine. I'd say these are my 5 favorite things from the book. Maybe you haven't got time to read the book, or you just want to refresh your existing knowledge of it, and how you can apply it to your everyday routine. This video will come in handy. So guys, let's begin. The first off, I am not a GTD expert. The book GTD is a fantastic read. I highly recommend it. Read it when I was very young, about 15, 16, and a lot of the principles have been taken away and used. There's a 5-step process which I guess can be very, very helpful for those without a methodology, especially if you're looking to structure a routine for yourself, especially like being able to implement a productivity process if you haven't already got one. So I recommend you can find the book in the description, read it, enjoy it. It's a great book. Now, obviously I've taken away just more than these 5, but I'd say these 5 are great. So the first of the 5 is the 2-minute rule. Now this can be implemented in email inbox, or it can actually be implemented with your task manager. So the 2-minute rule is very simple. If you can do the task within 2 minutes, you do it. And it's a very simple rule, but it can be very useful. So for example, let's say you're processing your Todoist inbox and you see something like email Bob, or maybe sort file or upload this file and send it. If you can do that within 2 minutes, and you know you can, and you don't want to delegate it, defer it, or even just, plan it in a project for later, then do it. And if it's doable in 2 minutes, go ahead and do it. I found this one particularly useful. For example, if I set 30 minutes at the end of the day just to get rid of some emails or administration, and I can actually get a few things done in less than those 2 minutes, this is a great opportunity. A lot of people like to tag this as a context of inactive. For example, the task is not necessarily something you proactively do, something you actively do, but something that doesn't really, contain much effort to do. For example, it could be emailing someone a short email or giving someone a quick call, for example, to see a status on something. So these sort of activities can be done within 2 minutes. I love implementing this routine, especially with emails as well. For example, in the email inbox, when I'm clearing it and I'm going, I want to clear this fairly fast, and I know that the reply isn't going to take longer than 2 minutes, I'll do it there on the spot. Or if it's going to take more than 2 minutes, I'll defer it or delegate it to someone else. Okay, the second takeaway from the GTD concept is definitely the weekly review. This is something that I've been doing for a good 5 years at the very least, and I found it incredibly useful. It's almost how I start my week to some extent, because I do it on a Thursday. I talked about it a lot. It's always been on a Wednesday PM, Thursday PM, or Friday AM, but I've recently doing it at least the last 2 years on a Thursday PM. Nice afternoon. I normally have my carrot cake then in the local coffee shop, or whatever coffee or whatever cake they have on offer, and I'll just sit down, and it'll take me 20 minutes, no longer than 20 minutes, to process anything that's major, get out of the way. And then what I'll do is I'll look at my goals for the month, and I will align my next week's activities to those goals. This is really, really helpful because the week can get ahead of you, and the concept of the weekly review actually allows you to stop and go, okay, am I setting myself up? Because you get carried away during the week. Like I notice, like on a Tuesday, I end up getting people set me my goals, and I'm like, okay, that's brilliant. But at the same time, you need to stay on course with your targets. So having that Thursday to go, okay, these 3 or 4 things I need to do next week, or I can activate this one, complete it for the entirety of next week, really does help, because it just helps you keep focused. I plan out my to-do-list that way, and it just helps me keep on task. So implementing a weekly review, obviously GTD has some more concepts involved in there, I think is absolutely a fantastic activity. So guys, just to pause for a moment, a little word from our sponsor. Are you in a sales team? Do you manage sales leads? Are you in charge of the sales pipeline? If the answer is yes, then you'll need to know about Pipedrive. Managing leads, keeping track of communications, and managing processes can be overwhelming. Pipedrive makes sales simpler with a host of features to help you stay on top of all the new leads and conversations. Let's hone in on a feature. Pipedrive's Lead Booster feature is a customizable chatbot that you can add to any page of your website. Lead Booster will engage visitors to your site and send qualified leads direct to the right person in your sales team. Now, 90,000 companies use Pipedrive, and deals worth a combined total of over 24 billion have been closed on this CRM software. It's one of the best sales tools for managing incoming leads out there. I used Pipedrive at a previous company I worked with, and it was super easy to get on with. There's plenty of ways you can optimize it even further. There was a chap at work who dug really deep, setting up some fantastic workflows and educating me in the process. Now, Pipedrive aims to be your one-stop sales hub. You can learn more about Pipedrive in the description below and start winning deals for you and your team in this easy-to-use hub. You can go to pipedrive.com/keepproductive to find out more about Pipedrive. So, number 3, guys. Number 3 is in trays. Now, a lot of people have inboxes digitally. Of course, during the day, we might not have access to our phones, or, well, I doubt it actually, but we naturally want to have, physical in trays, because in trays don't come in only the form of an inbox. I have a few in trays digitally. So an in tray digitally could be my Todoist inbox, my email inbox, my Twitter DMs, for example. These are all ways that I'll capture, things like messages and, tasks during the day. But when it comes to the physical in trays, this can be a little bit tricky. So I have a few physical in trays in my life. The first is my middle drawer in the desk that I have. My middle drawer processes, or at least has, all of the documents that I've captured. Could be stuff through the post, it could be stuff that I have started signing, or it could be stuff that Spec has given me from an appointment or something like that. But it actually allows me to capture it in a physical area that I can process in the day of my week review. And this is really, really helpful. This concept in GTD of physically capturing stuff in an in tray is a really good one. And it'll be surprising how many more in trays that you have in physical, in every day, that you have and you don't notice. For example, when you go to the supermarket, or you are in the town and you're buying something, or you're in a meeting and somebody gives you a business card, these are also in trays. The pocket that you are maybe sitting in with stuff in it are in trays. And sometimes it's useful to just centralize that. So for me, I've started centralizing my on-the-go in tray as my wallet. I have a few, receipts and documents and business cards that I'll collect up, and I'll have it in there to then add to my physical in tray. So continually trying to centralize your in tray is really important. I always try and make that middle drawer my central one. So I'll get a range of things in there, from receipts to the actual documents, and adverts as well that I'll need to process, and even sometimes flyers and stuff like that. So it's always trying to capture that physical stuff. But if you don't have the physical stuff, then the email inbox, the Todoist inbox, etc. could be really helpful. And it's always important to try and centralize that, to not try and open up more in trays. Make sure that everything's all captured in one spot, which is something that GTD continues to reiterate. Okay, so number 4, and number 4 is brain dumping. This is something that I believe is called mind sweeping in GTD. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've actually caught up on the book. But the actual concept of, brain dumping, putting all of your ideas down for the week and just continually just getting things out of your mind is something that is so valuable inside of GTD. GTD is obviously something that, the first step is collect, it's capture. It's making sure that everything that is in your brain is out of your brain. And David Allen continues to reiterate that if your mind's clear, your mind is clear to then focus on the actual task or whatever you're actually going to be doing, versus actually storing stuff and just collecting stuff across your day. So for me, the 2 inboxes that I have, guys, there will be a Todoist setup video coming on Monday, so that'll explain it a little bit more. But I said sort of 2 main brain dump areas. One is my inbox throughout the day, small things, whether it's links, ideas, articles, even tasks. I'll just dump it in there, and I'll process it at the end of the day very quickly, 5-minute activity. But for example, if I get bigger ones that affect my next week, like ideas for videos, or maybe even, things that I'm going to be doing over the weekend, then I'm ready to process on a Thursday, then I'll add them to a weekly review area. But these routine brain dumps actually keep my mind pretty fresh, and it's gotten to an extent where I don't actually store anything in my mind. I just enjoy what's in front of me. Maybe I'll have a few ideas, but I quick capture them on the way home if I've got a few ideas about like videos, or even like the way that I'm doing business or something like that, or something that's been on my mind, like bothering me. Could be anything, finances, mortgage, whatever it is. Things that you can do, I just dump inside a Todoist, and it just takes a load off my mind. So that's why they call them brain dumps. And the good thing is, in GTD, they continue to reiterate that you can have these brain dump activities not just in a digital format, but you can just grab like a bit of A3 paper. And if it's your first ever brain dump, just get everything out, everything that's bothering you, from finance to health to electoral stuff to, fitness, whatever it is. It's just a way for you to get everything out of your mind. Okay, so the fifth and final thing that I love about GTD, the key takeaway for you guys, is definitely the next action. This is a concept for when you complete a task, to actually get you ball rolling on what's next. Now, one thing I do is whenever I sort of align a task, I have this natural process now because I've read GTD and implemented that concept, is whenever I complete a task, I will, before ticking it off, I'll go, what is the next action? And I'll add that to my Todoist inbox, or actually plan it in my next 7 days to be the next action, because that helps me to then go, okay, I need to know what's next from this task. And that's a really important process, that it's a habit that you can implement definitely, but it's something that really will save you time, because what a lot of the time we do is naturally when we complete an activity, so say I edited a video, I go tick, and then I forget about it, and naturally nothing will come of it. But there are so many more activities that might be part of that process. Now, if you have templates, that's going to save you a lot more time, and that's something that I am definitely going to be implementing in January time, because I need to refine my processes. However, if you don't have a next action auto-connect in your brain that goes, what is the next action to this? Upload the videos, then that could actually be a step that loses out an opportunity for you. You could actually be off the ball rather than on the ball with your tasks. So next action is a really great habit to implement, especially when you're going about task management. So guys, those were my 5 key takeaways from GTD. It's a great book. If you want to check it out, it'll be in the link in the description. A big thank you to David Allen, of course, for creating such a fantastic concept. I'll look probably to have him on soon if I can get that interview, and we can chat all things GTD. He's got a new book out that I'm looking to review as well. It's called GTD Workbook, and I also will be trying to do a GTD Inboxes feature that overviews how I personally use my inboxes to capture stuff across the day. But guys, a big thank you. I look forward to your comments below. Feel free to share how you use GTD, and subscribe if you are brand new to this YouTube channel. But guys, a big thank you, and I'll talk to you guys in a future video. Cheers everyone. Bye.